All right, ladies, gather round, because if you've ever felt like there's a secret language to male pleasure, a code you haven't quite cracked, or if you're just ready to take your man's world from good to mind-blowingly epic, then you're in the right place. We're not just talking about touch here. We're talking about connection, about unlocking a level of intimacy that makes him see stars, hear symphonies, and honestly, probably forget his own name for a hot minute. Forget everything you think you know, because today we're diving into the techniques that don't just feel good, they create seismic shifts. We're going to transform your touch into an art form, a powerful expression of desire that leaves him quivering, absolutely addicted, and utterly devoted. This isn't just about the physical, it's about the emotional real estate you claim in his heart when you know how to truly connect with his body. So let's pull back the curtain on something that's often whispered about, but rarely truly explored with the depth it deserves. Are you ready to become his ultimate pleasure maestro? Let's get into it. You wouldn't jump straight to the crescendo in a song, would you? The same applies here. Far too often, people treat intimacy like a race to the finish line, completely missing the magic of the journey. The warm-up isn't just foreplay, it's the crucial psychological and physical priming that sets the stage for explosive pleasure. Start with connection, not just immediate gratification. Think about a truly amazing dish isn't just about the main course, it's about the appetizers, the ambience, the anticipation. So how do we do this? Begin with gentle, almost feather-light strokes. We're talking about tracing the inner thighs, brushing against the lower belly, maybe even a soft caress around his waistline. The goal here isn't to ignite a bonfire right away, but to light 1,000 tiny sparks. This creates a sensory overload in the most delicious way possible, making every subsequent touch feel more intense, more profound. It's about building curiosity, making him wonder what's coming next, making him crave your touch before you even get close to the main event. This subtle, almost elusive contact also activates nerve endings all over his body, not just the usual suspects, making him hyper aware of your presence and building a full body anticipation. That don't underestimate the power of a lingering gaze, a playful whisper, or even just the heat of your hand on his skin elsewhere before you even think about going south. This extended period of light teasing contact builds up an incredible amount of tension and excitement. It's like stretching a rubber band tighter and tighter. When it finally snaps, the release is so much more impactful. This is where you create that delicious ache, that yearning for more that makes the eventual deep dive so much more potent. Remember, the brain is the biggest pleasure organ, and by teasing and building anticipation, you're lighting up all those pleasure centers before you even begin the direct physical stimulation. It's about creating a mental space of desire and readiness. K.29, mapping his pleasure zones beyond the obvious. Okay, now let's get a bit more specific. Everyone talks about the main event, but what about the supporting cast? His entire genital area is a complex tapestry of nerve endings, and if you only focus on one spot, you're missing out on a whole universe of sensation. Think of it like a treasure map, and you're the intrepid explorer. His balls, for instance, are incredibly sensitive. Genital cupping, soft stroking, a light squeeze, and I mean light, ladies, we're not trying to crush anything here, can send shivers down his spine. The perineum, that little strip of skin between his sac and his back end, is another hot spot often overlooked. A soft circular massage here can be incredibly arousing, as it's directly linked to the prostate, which we'll get to in a moment. Don't forget the shaft itself. Vary your pressure. Some moments call for a firmer grip, others for a delicate glide. Explore the underside, the frenulum zebra, that little ridge where the head meets the shaft. It's often a goldmine of sensation. The point here is to become an expert in his body. Every man is different, and what one guy loves, another might just tolerate. The only way to find out is to experiment, observe his reactions, and listen not just with your ears, but with your touch. Does he subtly arch into your hand when you hit a certain spot? Does his breathing hitch? These are your clues. The more you explore and vary your touch across these different zones, the more complete and overwhelming the pleasure becomes. It's like playing different notes on a piano to create a rich chord, rather than just hitting one key repeatedly. This exploratory phase communicates a deeper level of care and interest, showing him that you're truly invested in his pleasure, which in itself is a massive turn on This journey of discovery allows you to build a comprehensive picture of his unique pleasure profile, ensuring that when you do hone in, it's with precision and maximum impact. Key point 3, the magic of the flick and roll your fingers, his fantasy. Now let's get into the actual technique that makes a difference. We're not just moving up and down here. Ladies, that's entry level stuff. We're talking about a technique that builds intensity, creates incredible friction, and can drive him absolutely wild. I call it the flick and roll. Imagine your pointer finger and thumb. You're going to use them to create a gentle yet firm rolling motion at the base of his head, right below the crown. It's not a squeeze, it's a roll. As you apply a little pressure with your thumb, your pointer finger will flick upwards, almost like you're trying to send a tiny ripple up the shaft. Then you reverse it, roll down, flick up, roll down, flick up. Vary the speed and pressure. Start slow and deliberate, letting him savor each sensation. As he gets more aroused, you can increase the pace, making those flicks quicker, more insistent. This motion stimulates a huge number of nerve endings in that incredibly sensitive area, creating a sensation that's both pleasurable and intensely stimulating. It's different from just sliding up and down. The flick creates a unique kind of friction and pressure that many men find unbelievably potent. It's about capturing that perfect balance between firmness and finesse. This specific action focuses sensation on the most sensitive part of his manhood, maximizing the pleasure received from each stroke. The roll provides deeper pressure, while the flick adds a lighter, more acute stimulation, creating a multifaceted sensation that can be truly overwhelming in the best possible way. This dynamic variation in pressure and movement prevents desensitization and keeps his nerve endings singing with delight, preparing him for the ultimate release. We've laid the groundwork with teasing and mapping. Now it's time to elevate your technique and introduce a whole new level of pleasure that many women and men aren't even aware of. This is where you graduate from good to legendary. Key point 4A, the prostate plate unlocking his inner G spot, the P spot power up. Okay, ladies, lean in close, because this is where we unlock a secret weapon that can take him to places he didn't even know existed. We're talking about the prostate, often referred to as the male G spot or P spot. Stimulating this area can induce profoundly intense, full body sensations and even cause shaking O's that are unlike anything he's experienced before. It's a game changer and it's surprisingly accessible. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, Matthew, are we talking about that?
Yes, we are.
But gracefully, sensually, and with his utmost comfort and pleasure in mind. This isn't about anything taboo, it's about exploring the full spectrum of male arousal and intimacy. The prostate is located just inside the rectum, about 1 to 2 inches in towards the belly button. It's a small gland about the size of a walnut, and when stimulated, it can send waves of pleasure throughout his entire being. Here's how you approach it. Lubrication is now negakuai. This is absolutely essential for comfort and pleasure. Be generous. Communication is key. Talk to him. Ask if he's comfortable, explain what you're doing, and assure him that his pleasure is your priority. This builds trust and anticipation. The approach start with a single, well-lubricated finger. Single your pointer is usually best for control. Begin with gentle pressure on the perineum E, that area we talked about earlier between his sac and his bum. This relaxes the muscles and prepares him. Slow and gentle entry. When he's ready, gently and slowly insert your finger, aim towards his belly button. You'll feel a slight firm bump. That's the prostate. The come hither motion, once you locate it, use a gentle come hither or curving motion. Don't press too hard. Start with light, sweeping motions and gradually increase pressure. If he responds positively, observe his reactions, watch his body. Does he moan, arch his back, or gasp? These are signs you're hitting the right spot. Some men prefer circular motions, others prefer consistent pressure. Experiment and find his sweet spot. When stimulated correctly, the prostate can trigger incredibly deep visceral O's that are often described as more encompassing and less localized than typical climaxes. It can lead to whole body tremors and a sensation of pure unadulterated bliss. This technique requires trust, communication, and a willingness to explore, but the payoff can be truly extraordinary for both of you. It's a profound way to connect with his deepest pleasure centers and show him a dimension of intimacy he may never have experienced. Don't rush it, embrace the journey, and watch him melt into your hands. Key point 50, the rhythmic roller coaster, speed, pressure, and pause for impact. The biggest mistake people make in the bedroom, eyes, and frankly, in many aspects of life is a lack of dynamism. Monotony kills desire. If you're applying the same speed and pressure throughout, you're missing out on creating a truly electrifying experience. Think of yourself as a DJ, mixing tracks, building beats, and dropping the bass at just the right moment. Vary the speed, start slow, languid, almost teasing. Let the sensations build, then gradually increase the tempo. Imagine you're building a wave, slow at first, picking up speed and intensity. Don't be afraid to go fast, really fast, especially as he gets closer to the edge. The rapid, insistent rhythm can push him over the brink. Play with pressure just like speed. Pressure needs to be dynamic. Combine light feather-like touches with firmer, more deliberate strokes. Some moments call for a gentle caress, others for a deep, insistent pressure. The flick and roll technique we discussed earlier is perfect for varying pressure, a light flick, a firmer roll. The power of the pause, this is perhaps the most overlooked, yet incredibly powerful element. Just when he's on the cusp, when he's breathing heavily and practically begging for more, pause. Pull back just for a second or two. Let the sensations linger. Let the anticipation build to an almost unbearable level. This momentary withdrawal makes the subsequent touch unbelievably potent. It resets his system, amplifies his desire, and makes the eventual release even more explosive. It's like stretching a spring to its absolute limit before letting it go. A well-timed pause can be the difference between a good O and a truly shaking O. Incorporate all elements, bring in all the techniques we've discussed. Blend the flick and roll with some prostate stimulation. Vary the speed, play with the pressure, and throw in those crucial pauses. Create a symphony of sensations that keeps him guessing, keeps him on edge, and drives him absolutely wild. It's about creating a complex tapestry of touch that engages his entire nervous system, ensuring that when he finally does climax, it's a full body, mind-altering event that leaves him utterly spent and yearning for more of your magic. This mastery of rhythm and variation ensures that every session feels fresh, exciting, and deeply satisfying, making you unforgettable. All right, ladies, we've teased, we've explored, and we've delved into the deep-seated pleasure zones. Now, for our final batch, we're bringing it all together. This isn't just about technique anymore. It's about the entire experience, the communication, and the afterglow that leaves him absolutely captivated. This is where you solidify your status as his ultimate pleasure architect. We've armed you with the physical tools. Now let's talk about the emotional intelligence and the focal experience that makes these encounters truly unforgettable. It's about more than just the O. It's about the bond you forge through intimate understanding. Key point 6E, the art of observation and communication, becoming his pleasure oracle. Here's the thing. Every man is a unique landscape of pleasure. What sends one guy to the moon might just be mate for another. Your ability to read his body and listen to his cues is paramount. You need to become his pleasure oracle, anticipating his needs and responding to his desires, sometimes even before he vocalizes them. Nonverbal cues. Pay attention to his body language. Is he tensing up or relaxing into your touch? Does his breathing quicken or deepen? Does he subtly shift his hips, guiding your hand to a specific spot? Observe his facial expressions, a slight gasp, a furrowed brow of intense pleasure, eyes rolling back in his head. These are all incredibly valuable data points. The arch of his back, the clenching of his jaw, the subtle movements of his legs all tell a story of what's working and what's not. Verbal cues, encourage them! Create a safe space where he feels comfortable telling you what feels good and what doesn't. You can initiate this by asking, does that feel good, or do you like this pressure? Or tell me if there's anything else you're craving right now. Reassure him that there's no right or wrong answer, and that his feedback helps you give him even more pleasure. Some men are shy about vocalizing their desires, so a gentle prompting can be incredibly helpful. Phrases like, you can tell me anything, or don't hold back, can open up that line of communication. Trial and error is your friend. Don't be afraid to experiment. Try different rhythms, different pressures, different spots. If something isn't getting the desired reaction, pivot. That's okay. It's all part of the discovery process. The more you explore together, the more deeply you'll understand his specific pleasure map. This ongoing dialogue, both spoken and unspoken, creates a dynamic intimacy that transcends just the physical act. It shows him you're invested in his experience, which is an incredible turn on in itself. This mutual exploration builds a deeper connection, making each intimate encounter a shared journey of discovery and pleasure. Key point 7, the build up to the grand finale, the point of no return. As he gets closer to the edge, your job is to intensify everything. This is where you pull out all the stops and make sure he's absolutely overwhelmed with sensation, pushing him right to that shaking O, consistent building pressure. As he nears climax, maintain a firm, consistent pressure on his most sensitive spots. If you've been doing prostate stimulation, continue that. If the flick and roll on the head is his jam, keep that going, but possibly increase the speed and insistence. Accelerate the rhythm, speed up your movements. The rapid, insistent rhythm can push him over the edge and into that explosive release. Think of it like a drum solo reaching its peak, fast, furious, and all-consuming. Engage his whole body. Don't just focus on his lower regions. Kiss him, run your hands through his hair, whisper encouraging words in his ear. This makes the a full body immersive experience, not just a localized one. The more senses you engage, the more profound the experience. The power of sound encourage him to make noise. His moans, gasps, and cries of pleasure are not just indicators of his enjoyment. They feed into your own arousal and create a powerful feedback loop. Don't be afraid to make noise yourself, a soft moan, a sensual breath to heighten the atmosphere. Trust the release as he gets closer. You might feel his body tense, his breath hitch. Don't stop. Keep going, applying that consistent, accelerating pressure until he reaches his peak. The shaking, full bodios often come from sustained, intense stimulation that allows his system to fully overload in the best possible way. This unwavering commitment to pushing him to his absolute limit creates an explosive release that is both physically and emotionally cathartic, leaving him utterly satisfied and deeply bonded. Key point 80, the afterglow and the lingering connection sealing the deal. The experience doesn't end with the O. The afterglow is just as important, solidifying the intimacy and ensuring he leaves feeling cherished, deeply satisfied, and eager for your next encounter. Cuddle and connect. After his release, don't just immediately disengage. Cuddle him close. Hold him, let him feel your warmth and presence. This physical closeness after such an intense experience is incredibly bonding. Affirm his pleasure, a soft kiss, "That was amazing," or "You feel so good," can go a long way. Affirming his pleasure makes him feel desired and appreciated. Eye contact, look into his eyes. This is a moment of deep connection and vulnerability. Let him see your pleasure in his pleasure. Non-verbal gratitude, a gentle stroke of his hair, a kiss on his forehead, a soft caress of his back. These small gestures speak volumes and reinforce the emotional connection. Reflect and learn. Subtly, you don't need to have a post-mortem immediately, but internally take note of what worked best. The more you understand his unique responses, the better you become as his pleasure partner, leaving him wanting more. Subtly, by making the entire experience from foreplay to afterglow incredibly fulfilling and connected, you create a powerful memory. He won't just remember the physical O, he'll remember the way you made him feel. This is how you leave him utterly devoted, completely satisfied, and already dreaming of the next time you unleash your magic. This holistic approach ensures that the intimacy extends beyond the physical act, strengthening your emotional bond and creating a lasting impression of profound connection and mutual satisfaction. So there you have it, ladies. This isn't just about fingering technique, it's about mastering the art of male pleasure, about understanding the nuances of his body and mind, and about creating an intimate connection that is truly earth-shattering. Go forth, experiment, communicate, and transform your intimate moments into something truly extraordinary. You have the power to give him so intense, so profound, that he'll be shaking, quivering, and utterly obsessed with your touch. Now go make some magic happen. If you found this deep dive into male pleasure insightful, and you're ready to unlock even more secrets to incredible intimacy, then you absolutely need to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. I've got so much more to share that will transform your relationships, elevate your confidence, and make you the most irresistible version of yourself. Don't miss out on future content that will empower you to create profound, passionate connections and leave both you and your partner utterly breathless. Join our community now and become the master of your love life.